How risk assessment. Welcome back to my channel. In this channel, we share occupational health and safety tips. We share information concerning occupational health and safety. And in this video, I will be sharing a step-by-step procedure on how to carry out a risk assessment in workplace according to the Nebosh International General Certificate IGC2 risk assessment is carried out according to this International General Certificate examination IGC2. In this section, you will have a step-by-step method on how to answer this question. Now, I suggest you create constructive sentences while writing a section and use appropriate technology required for occupational health and safety. The first point you need to note here, dear Nebosh students, you need the previous risk assessment. You need the previous risk assessment. You need the previous risk assessment. Next thing you need here is the incident and near miss report. The next thing you need to outline a better risk assessment, you need an accident report. You need the organizational health and safety policy. You must have it in place. You need the organizational health and safety policy. The next thing you will need here to create this risk assessment, you will need the inspection. The inspection and maintenance equipment records or reports. The next step you will need here is what we call the method statement. And another document you need to have here is the manufacturer data, manufacturer safety data sheet. The in common word we use is SDS. In this case, this report may be from a company dealing with some chemicals. Okay, report. The next document you need to carry out a risk assessment is the code of practice. The next document you need to have for you to carry out an effective risk assessment, you need to mention the local or the national law. This can be of that country where you are undertaking your risk assessment. And the next requirement or being your source of information for you to carry out a risk assessment is to check on the ILO convention, and the recommendation. In this case, you need to state the number, and you need to state the year. You need to state the number and the year. The next information that will be a source of information is to consult the UK executive HSC guidelines for a better risk assessment to be carried out. When these informations are in place, you are good to go with a better risk assessment. Now, there is one thing more that is lacking. We talk here about additional information that you need to put in place. And one of the additional information is, who did you speak to? In this case, you need to highlight at least few workers, comma, it can be supervisor, comma, it can be HSC officer, comma, it can be HSC manager. These are the people you can speak with to get a good insight of what is happening in the company. This is just a clue of what you need to do. Now, the next step here, what you have to do is, how did you go about to identify the risk? How did you go about to identify the risk? This can be done by a physical site inspection, or a walkthrough, on the site. This is how your risks or the hazards have been identified in the workplace. Now, at least you have to mention at least some few hazards that you have identified in that workplace. Some few hazards that you have identified in that place. For example, e.g., you can talk about work at height as a hazard that you discover in that place, or you, through your inspection, this is what you found. Work at height, manual handling, or electricity, etc. You can mention even at least 2, 3, 4 that these are the hazards identified in that process of physical inspection. Now, the next thing you need to do in this place is to provide the additional or control measures for the hazard you have identified. Meaning, you need to do what? Add additional / control measures on the following hazards that you have identified in the workplace. And these control measures, make sure that they align with the 5 hierarchy of control measures according to health and safety. In this line, when all these elements are in place, you will definitely produce a healthy risk assessment anywhere. The first point, you need to check on the previous risk assessment. Identify the incident and near miss reports. That will help you. All this documentation will help you come out with an adequate risk assessment. There are so much document that might not be listed here, but at least this is what should be planted in this place so that a better risk assessment may be developed. Use this statement, this information to carry out your risk assessment and bring out an adequate risk assessment, and definitely your examiner will approve you in this case. Thank you for watching. If you like this content, please kindly subscribe and hit the notification bell for later information. Thank you so much. See you in the next video.